I'll sing this shit together, y'all. Hey, here we go, y'all. Sing this shit. Y'all know it.
The miracle of life. Life's a break with no rehearsal. Learn quickly, they'll come for your role. Games can play, can't take it personal. Cause the devil is a lie. I'm telling you the truth. It's all in what you do.
Some things you gotta do. Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe, but don't forget tonight, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It's just us in the barbershop tonight, man. We can campaign and champagne, man. Hey, Cadillac dolls and fat hoes, man, with asses, baby. That's what we talking about tonight in the barbershop, man. So feel free, call in, grab your favorite beverage, smoke a little bit, and just come hang out with your brother. All right, man. So Errol Spence is taking screenshots of media members that are writing them off, not picking them, and he's using it as fuel to the fire, wood and coal to the flames. You know what I mean? And I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. I like how open. And by the way, Errol, you got to come in the barbershop one day, dog. We got a campaign and champagne, so the fans are. You and Deontay Wilder are two of the easiest, most popular guys that people want to hear from. So feel free. So hit me and I'll hit you. And yeah, what did he say? Tell your friends to tell my friends, and we can all hang out in the barbershop. You know what I mean? So, but I'll say this. I like how open he is. You know, I was taken aback when I'll get to where y'all want me to go in a second. I was taken aback when he said when he was talking about his daughter, because if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm very open about my my adulation and my love and my affection towards my daughter. You know, and he says and I quote Earl. He says the first person your daughter should fall in love with is the father, and I was taken back by that because I'm very intentional about that. And then he also said something the other day, which I thought should have got more attention, and attention meaning I should have done something on this as well. He said something to the effect of when he had a lot of time and a lot of money, he summarize. I'm paraphrase. He wasn't as focused. You understand what I'm saying? And when he get $100,000 when the government come knocking, you know, what I mean, you got to answer that doorbell. I know all that shit all too well, you know, and I admire that. I admire how he's vulnerable is the word, vulnerable. I admire that because vulnerable is something that you typically don't see in gladiators, and what tends to happen with vulnerable gladiators, people tend to take advantage of them. You know what I mean? People tend to demonize them. You know what I mean? And I admire that. So the audience that I believe he's attracted to will that he wants to attract will receive this. And then the Virgil Ortiz thing, you know what I mean? He chose to be the biggest man in the biggest moment and say like basically we're friends, good luck the rest of the way. I know you're fighting. And then regardless of what his father said about calling Errol Spence a drunk, I remember that shit. You know, I mean, actually the video on that shit. So so I think that's admirable. And I'll say before I get into his quote, I'll say this. And I believe I've told Earl this multiple times, if not more than one, if not more. I know at least more than once. My favorite fight that I've seen him fight was Chris Algieri. And I remember watching that fight and I said, God damn, look at that nigga's back. And I remember the last time before that I said something like that was Jamal Charlo against J-Rock, when that nigga did, like, when he flexed like this, and you know, when you're sitting ringside and shit, you can really see how wide they backs are. You know what I mean? And I was like, those in that moment, I knew Errol Spence was probably in the best shape of his life. I stand corrected. I don't know, but it's just me visually, you know. And physically, I don't think he's been in the best shape of his life. God is just God took his time when he made Earl and gave him some physical assets that are far superior than the norm, you know, and that's carried him. He has yet. I haven't seen Chris Algieri in him since then. You know, I thought he was a great boxer. I love how he manipulated Chris Algieri with his jab hand and pushed him to his straight left, and just literally mowed him down, and he had cruel and unusual intentions. You know what I mean? And I thought that that was beautiful in that fight. And I know I'm not sure if he made some. I know he's not training. God, I'm drawing a blank. I know he's not training with uh, his own personal trainer. I remember they were doing like 500 push-ups and shit. But you need to get back to that and honor that relationship, filter that relationship, water that relationship. I think is very, very important that you get back with him. And in terms of the training side, obviously we all Derek James has done a phenomenal job in terms of the accuracy of his punches and the intentions of his punches. I think that's I think Derek James does a great job. You know, I um um yeah, man. So I think that I would like to see Earl go back to those moments. I don't know what he did in the camp, uh, but go back to those moments. You know, he has a lot of time, dog. And I'm actually September, October, November. August 21st, I think I'm gonna do a 90-day camp with Earl. So I think that's gonna be the fight this year. Not unless they announce Deontay Wilder. Sorry, Earl. Deontay Wilder takes precedence. You know, I love y'all. I love y'all anyway, man. But I'm gonna do a training camp, 90 days. You know, it's fun to get back in the gym and start hitting that heavy bag and shit. But but getting to the den to here comes Kennedy. Getting back to um screenshotting the media members that are not picking him. I think it's I think it's a great motivational. I think it's great. You know what I mean? I think it's important. I've done that many a times, you know, obviously not on the hold on. Not obviously not on 1 second. Hey, speaking of honoring your daughter, all you gotta do is kiss your daughter and say it's gonna be all right, and they just stop crying. You know what I mean? But I uh I like that he's taking mental notes. I don't know how much he weighs right now, but the fact when a fighter shows himself with no shirt on, that goes, he believes that he's in some level of shape where he's ready to fight. You know, fighters will keep their shirt on to save their lives. You know what I mean? They wear the black baggy shit and, you know, wear sweaters and shit to hide how much weight they've gained. But the face never lies though. You know what I mean? And but I like the fact that he's motivated. You know what I mean? I love the fact that he's motivated. And I'm excited that he's very intentional about this fight. And let me get this 1 second. So I'm excited that he's very intentional um about this fight because this fight is very important. You know, I mean, it takes him to greener pastures. He's gonna have to make a decision: Terrence Crawford or Manny Pacquiao. You know, and I say this: um, get the money, man. I don't know how much longer you got at 147. Um, you said your last two fights you had to lose 3 pounds the day of, and it took everything out of you. So be cognizant of that. Be honest with your body and know what it's capable of doing. Um, but whatever you did in that camp against Chris Algieri, let that be the baseline for your career moving forward. Um, um, you understand? Um, yeah, let that be the baseline because I mean we're years removed from that, so there's more you can add to that. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that that's incredibly important. And um, yeah, the same thing I would say about Wilder. Whatever you did in that Bermain Stavern camp 1 and 2, um, let that be the baseline for your camp moving forward. You understand? Because Deontay was in stupid shape for that Bermain Stavern 1 camp. You know what I mean? Stupid shape. And um, I'm uh, I'm excited to watch our growth, man. I'm excited because because now we really gonna find out. Well, excuse me. I mean, we really gonna find out what you're made of, and two, you get to show the rest of the world what you're made of. You know what I mean? Whoever doubted you, whatever motivates you, um, it's going to be very very important. And I know all about that chip that you carry on your shoulder, man. It's very inspiring, or it can be very weighing. You know, it's internal perspective. So Deontay Wilder, Earl Spence. I look forward to, I mean, the comeback story. You know what I mean? I'm definitely inspired by it. Yeah, and I would have him the favorite against Danny Garcia. Vegas won't have him a favorite by much because of the car accident. And as it gets closer to the fight, it's gonna get tighter and tighter and tighter. So I'll be honest with you guys. I hope not I hope you guys understand what I'm saying from a betting perspective. Um, I hope that they keep on talking about it because yeah, I know I bet thousands of dollars on fights. And Earl Spence, Danny Garcia won't be any different. You know, with all due respect to Danny Garcia, I think Danny Garcia is a hell of a fighter. He don't get the credit he deserves, man. He got rocks in both hands. You know, what I mean, I think he's a hell of a fighter, and he makes ordinary great. You know what I mean? He's not Roy Jones. He's not Floyd Mayweather. He's not what we thought Adrian Broner would be. He's not that. Okay. He is Danny flat footed Garcia with rocks in both hands that knows how to box and knows who he is. You know what I mean? He has explosive hand speed on the inside. I mean, you guys got to really watch this tape. That left hook that he throws on the inside is extraordinary. You got to pay attention to it. You know what I mean? And he digs, he digs, and it's going to be a fun fight to watch, man. And so I hope that the fight is close. I'm going to be betting on Earl, and the same thing. I don't know how this. Oh, because Wilder and Earl are synonymous in my head as it pertains to the culture, and the same thing could be held about Deontay Wilder. He's going to be the underdog against Tyson Fury in the second fight. Guess what, Fredericks? I'm betting on Wilder. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I'm gonna bet the knockout like I did the last time. I bet that the fight don't go 12. You know what I mean? So I'll be betting on that fight. And but overall, I wish them well. And me picking Earl in this fight does not take away what I believe Danny Garcia is. If Earl Spence do not have an A-level camp, Danny Garcia has a chance and probably will beat him. Danny Garcia ain't no punk, y'all. I'm just telling, man. I've seen Danny Garcia fight up close. You understand, and you got to understand something about like um, playing against like the 1990 New York Giants with Jeff Hostetler, whatever year that was. You know what I mean? Um, they're going to give the ball to Otis Anderson 2 times and hope that they can pass on third and four. You know what I mean? And that's Danny Garcia on some levels. You know what I mean? Um, or the Baltimore Ravens with Flacco and Ray Lewis his last year. You know what I mean? That's what they do. They don't blow you out, you know? They just win. Just win, baby. That's what the Raiders would say, right? And that's what he does, you know? And Earl better have a great camp because Danny Garcia, he wants that Manny Pacquiao fight. He thinks that Manny Pacquiao fight, just like everyone else believes, which I don't necessarily believe is true, but it definitely aids in it and adds to it that's legacy money. Um, and it offsets the biggest fight that can possibly happen outside of the heavyweights. I mean, Cowboy Stadium, it'll be 50,000 people there watching Earl Spence versus Terrence Crawford. You know, and it'll be a beautiful sight to see. You know, that'll be a beautiful sight to see. Um, last time that'll be a beautiful sight to see. So, anyways, man, that's where I'm at. I didn't anticipate this video being this long, but yeah, man, uh, what's up? So, anyways, man, that's where I'm at with this, and oh, hamburger. Mm, thank you. You can cook really well. Anyways, man, Barbershop conversations, man. I appreciate you guys, and whatever inspires you, Earl, whatever inspires you, keep that flame lit. Because Danny Garcia ain't playing this camp. I know, man. You got 4 months. The fight was announced 4 months out. Shit, Danny Garcia coming. You know what I mean? And there's no doubt in my mind that nigga coming. Angel Garcia. This is the platform Angel Garcia has always wanted to be on, and he deserves it. Man, beat cancer and raise a family, and I mean, he did it the best way he knew how. And it's gonna take everything out of you. So whatever he did, finally I'll say it again. Whatever he did in that Chris Algieri camp, and I've told Earl this, I thought you were great in that fight. And whatever you did terrible in the Mikey Garcia and Sean Porter camp, throw that shit out. You know what I mean? Those two daughters need their father in that extra 20 or 30 million that this fight can potentially propel you to. So, and don't forget, Danny Garcia got beautiful kids too. All right, so he's fighting for the same reason you're fighting for, Earl. And if you combine your work ethic with what God sprinkled on you that made you better than the average person, it's gonna be a showcase fight for you. If not, Danny Garcia gonna make you pay. Danny Garcia will make you pay for your slip ups. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just a stone cold reality, and that's a stone cold truth. You know what I mean? That's the same thing I would tell D. You know what I mean? Ain't no hiccups now. No hiccups. Then they probably got the date already. Ain't no hiccups. We working to that date. The same thing, the same mindset that and you got to give him respect for this. Anthony Joshua, the same mindset. The nigga started training the moment his plane landed in the UK, based off of what I saw online. You know, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's just, I think it's admirable that he dedicated those 5 to 6 months of his life to getting Andy Ruiz back. And that's the mindset Errol Spence got to have right now. And that's the mindset Deontay Wilder must have right now. And I expect them to have it. You know what I mean? I expect no less. You understand what I'm saying? The same thing when I was laid off as a school teacher. It's just a mindset, dog. It's just literally like a fucking mindset. You know, when your back is against the wall, you can't fall back. The only way you can go is take a step forward. You know what I mean? And the real men do. Or the real men just sit there and just let the world just hand it to them. So, anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.